What's going on, guys? So this is not a video on painting a plastic bumper. You don't want to do what I did. The biggest thing with this video, this is a 2016 Hyundai Accent. Okay. The biggest thing I wanted to point out to you. Okay, I've seen several videos on removing the bumper for this car. One thing I did not see in any of the videos was how to take this out. Okay, so what I found, it's held in by little clips, but if you try to rip the rubber off, the clips will stay in, the rubber will come off. So you just kind of bend it out, you oblong the rubber hole that you can't see, and then you just pull the rubber off, go through with your trim removal tool, and you pull out all of the clips. You can see right here, actually, no, somewhere around here, I actually ripped the rubber. So there are two clips in this rubber piece that are not there. Okay. The other thing, and I saw the video on this, the other thing that I wanted to point out to you is this. Okay, this from the factory is actually riveted in. Okay, I drilled it out of the old one, popped it out. I happen to have these screws, so I went ahead and I put some screws in there, washers, lock washers, and I cranked it down. The main part of this, the main reason for this video is, the main reason for this video is this. Okay, that's a DRL. That's a white LED that's going to tie into one of the fuses. Okay, so as soon as the ignition is keyed on, it'll have a white LED. This is an amber LED that I've already installed the wire. You can see there's part of the harness and there's the other part of the harness, and you can see I got my wires right here. One of these I have to tie into the turn signal, and one of them is going to go into here, and then there's a wire that's got to be grounded. That's not a big deal, whatever. What I did, you can see, I made this up. I drilled a hole through here, and I put a little zip tie in there, and this is my plug. Okay, I did the same thing with my sister's fog lights. She's got some fog halo lights, and what happened with the lights that she ordered for her car, they were not direct fit. And there were two wires for the LED halo, two wires for the fog light itself, but you plug them in individually. So I did a setup like this. So once her son installs the wiring harness in the car, all we need to do is plug this in, and then I will come through and I'll wire the relay, and I've already got the switches installed. But you can see I did the same thing here. Okay, like I said, I went ahead and I zip tied this here. This is just the LED strip that you can get on Amazon. I soldered wires to it. I heat shrinked it. So yeah, it's all good to go. I've tested it and I know it works. And I've already got the wire installed here. So all I have to do now is throw the bumper on, plug everything in, and we're good to go. The main point of this video, though, is, like I said, watching some videos on this car, 2016 Hyundai Accent. Yeah, Accent. I knew that there were rivets, but I wasn't really. I didn't know exactly where. All this is all screwed in. Okay, that is screwed in. That is screwed in. This is screwed and popped. Forgive me. Screwed and popped. The only thing I had to modify was this right here. You can see I got a flat washer on both sides, and I may end up having to cut this thread off because it kind of sticks down a pretty fair amount. I don't think I'll have to, but I got a grinder if I need to. So yeah, and when you're taking this apart and you put it back together, make sure, be careful, because it all kind of ties together. This piece here, it's got some screws holding it down, screws and those snaps or whatever. This piece here has screws and snaps that hold it down. This piece right here, this little crosshatch piece here, doesn't have any snaps to hold it down, but it screws to this piece and it screws to this piece. And you'll see right there and right there. Screw here and then there. See, that's where it ties together. There. No, that's just like an alignment peg. Screw and then alignment peg, screw. So anyways, I just want to kind of give you a heads up on if you're doing I think it's like 14 to 17 accent is all the same, but I wanted to give you a heads up. So yeah, when I painted the bumper, I scuffed it, and I scuffed it, and I painted it, and I primed it, and I based it, and I cleared it. The mistake I made, the steps I took, because I'm not going to walk you through it. Steps I took: first, I scuffed it with a fine SOS, automotive SOS. Scuffed it really good. Well, first I cleaned it with soap and water. I cleaned both sides, but you can see when I painted it, I didn't paint. You can see there's blue here, but up here this is all still black, and like this is still primer. Which, I guess I should have paid closer attention to this, but we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. But so I scuffed it, then I primed it. I'm sorry, I scuffed it. I didn't have a tack cloth, so I wiped it down with a fresh microfiber cloth and some rubbing alcohol. I sprayed some adhesion promoter. It actually only took about a half a can. Then I primed it. I got, 4 coats of primer on there, 2 coats of primer, something like that. I ordered all my paint from automotivetouchup.com, and initially I ended up buying a little trigger that you can put on a spray can, and I was upset with how the primer was coming out. And then I used some Rust-Oleum primer that I bought at AutoZone without the trigger, and the coverage was good. I think it was that trigger that was just not pushing the trigger down all the way or whatever. So yeah, after I primed it, I wet sanded it with, I think, 600. Got it all nice and smooth, and I waited a week because I work Monday through Friday. Then I put 3-4 coats of base on it. It's this color, but it's gonna end up being darker. Then I put like 4 coats of clear on it. I let it sit for a week, and then I went through and I wet sanded it. But my stupid self, I bought some wax and not some polishing compound or rubbing compound or whatever. So it's actually got a coat of wax on it, and it doesn't have the gleam that you would see here. So I'll just wait for the give it some time, let the wax come off, because it eventually will, and then I'll break out my buffer and I'll polish it up. So, but anyways, and you can see, I think this right here, I think that's where you can thread in a tow hook, maybe. I don't know why that would be one on one side and one on the other. So this cap here is that cap right there. Of course, I didn't get a new one. So yeah, that's it. Maybe this will help you out. If it does, give me a thumbs up. If you know anyone who's going to be working on a Hyundai Accent on the the bumper area, you know, send the video to them, you know. And like I said in other videos, and I'll say it again until I'm blue in the face, I've always got content coming out that not necessarily one specific category. So if you want to know what I've got coming out next, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, you know, give me a subscribe, and you'll be notified when I have another video coming out. Until my next video, I will talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.